Good morning, Brook Hollow 5th graders. We're doing lesson 15 of Connected and Respected, dealing with bullying behavior. For our gathering, we're going to talk about bullying behavior. So with a partner, share a time when you noticed bullying behavior. Make sure when you're sharing, you're not using anybody's names. Refer to the person as someone. If you're not comfortable doing that, then just talk about a time that you felt targeted, or you saw someone else being targeted, or when you were a bystander watching this. Teachers, as you hear some good discussions, if you want anybody to share with the class, this would be a good time. Just remember that these discussions are not supposed to lead to arguments or being disrespectful. This is just a time, a safe place for you to share what you've seen or witnessed or have happened to you. Agenda check. In our discussion today, as we can see on our agenda, we're going to talk more about bullying behavior and the steps that we can take to deal with it. Then we will role play scenarios to practice some ideas that will help us become more skillful at bullying busting. The debriefing will get us to think about what steps each of us might take to counter bullying, which we will then share in the closing. Our first activity, exploring bullying behavior and bystanders. What types of behavior do we think of when we talk about bullying behavior? So often we have common perceptions of bullying behavior, such as teasing, name calling, making fun of someone, physically hurting someone. But it's important to realize that threatening and excluding people from a group is also bullying behavior. Have you ever just stood by and watched while bullying behavior took place? How did this feel? What are some of the reasons that we might be hesitant to intervene when we witness bullying behavior? I know we can all be fearful of the bullying behavior turning towards us if we get involved, and sometimes we might be embarrassed to say something in front of others. We're trying to build a caring and respectful community, so it's important to become more aware of what our responsibility is to each other within the classroom and the school. Bystanders to bullying behavior or to teasing incidents have a responsibility to take action. There's no such thing as an innocent bystander in a safe classroom.
Covenant kids up front.
The next activity is going to allow us to look at some ideas that will help us to be a part of a caring and respectful community. Our next activity is called Bullying Busting Role Plays. So teachers, with your students, brainstorm a list of things that people can do when they are being bullied or someone they see as being hurt or bullied. Record these ideas on a chart. It might be easy to use categories such as things you can say to the person doing the bullying behavior, like I messages.
Macy Huffman.
You can say things to the target and actions that you can take. For example, walking away, going to an adult, being a friend to the target, inviting them to join you in a game. It's also important to realize that sometimes confronting the bullying behavior is not a good idea, especially if the situation is dangerous. So it's important to notify an adult. However, if someone is a friend to the person doing the bullying behavior, it could be appropriate to say something like, "Hey, that's not nice." Finally, it's important to understand bystanders and the actions that they can take. It is helpful for someone to feel supported by others when they speak up against bullying behavior and to not be afraid that others will just walk away and ignore it. So, for our bullying busting role plays, this gives us an opportunity to practice using scenarios. So students need to be in groups of at least 4, and you're going to prepare for this role play. Every student in the group really needs to take a part, and our goal is to show the powerful role that bystanders can have when you notice bullying behavior. We do have some guidelines or rules for our role plays. Names of characters should not be anyone in the class. No bad language. To replace a bad word, it's okay to say blank or so-and-sos. No touching, and that includes pretend fighting. Here are some possible scenarios for your role play. One character calls another a name. A character comes out to the cafeteria and asks to sit at a certain table and is refused a seat. A character is teased for some aspect of his or her appearance in front of others. A character makes mistakes while reading aloud in the class and becomes an object of ridicule by another classmate. Teachers, you can come up with more on your own if you don't want to use those or the students don't. Allow enough time for each group to create their role play and practice it. Teachers give a signal when their time's halfway up. Then each group is going to present its role play to the class. Then you can critique the response to the bullying behavior by asking what was effective about the interventions that the participants acted out. If you see something that might escalate the conflict, point it out and discuss some other alternatives. And then, congratulations, group, on doing your scenarios. Debriefing. What was difficult about thinking up responses during the role play? Learning ways to intervene can sometimes be difficult, but they get easier with practice, just like anything we do. Which responses do you think you can begin to use? How might practicing our responses to bullying behavior help our school? Has anyone ever spoken up and helped you? Reporting bullying behavior is not telling or tattling. It's a responsibility of all members of a caring classroom to make sure that everyone is respected and safe. For our closing, new strategies I might try. So students, think about which strategies that you can begin to use against bullying behavior. Students, I want you to write these ideas down and then share them with a partner. Okay? Maybe making a pledge like I promise to, because every one of you has a part in stopping bullying behavior. The world is hard enough. We don't need to be cruel to one another, and it all starts with one person. So even if you laugh at a bully's joke, or you don't laugh but you don't say anything, you're part of that problem too. So make sure that you are stopping it and not encouraging it. We're not asking you guys to be best friends with each other, but you at least need to be kind. Hey, it's the week before Christmas. I know everybody's ready for a break, but this is the time that you need to remember to be responsible, respectful, and show gratitude. I'll be in the library this week doing lessons on giving. Remember to keep earning those beaver bucks and work on being a bucket filler, and I will see you soon.